The cost of winning 3 Super Bowls and going to 4 straight Super Bowls. It has taken a toll on our Chicago Bears, and we are in a spot now that isn't very good. This is the roster that we kind of have to go in to the 2030 season with. Caleb Williams still the quarterback. Jack Moynihan is the backup. There's no fall off in the running backs. Spears and Kramer are still here. Nate Downs, a draft pick, back for his second season. We did just draft a fullback in A.J. Wade. That looks pretty solid. But, however, the only good receiver that is left is Emeka Egbuka. We had to sign Christian Kirk out of pure necessity. Derek Meadows, DeCorian Moore, fast guys that can't catch. Our receivers 3 and 4, and Sal Baldwin, another 99 speed that can't catch. We got 3 receivers with 99 speed that none of them can catch. His catching is, that's catching Travis. No, catching 69. 69 catching. Like, what good is a receiver? He doesn't receive. Tight ends, again, just out of necessity. This is someone we traded for, a young X-Factor. However, he's in his final year, so we're going to see if we're going to be able to retain him at the end of all this. The offensive line is a pieced-together mess. I mean, it's bad. It's really, really bad. But, however, the only hole we have on defense is left defensive end with Dante Cheeks, Mr. Irrelevant of a couple years ago. He's up to a 73 overall, so there's worse out there, but it's not great. Danny Okoye, Keenan Britt. We also still have Deion Walker, Kalen Edwards, and Taven Love at defensive tackle. The defense is still really good, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to win us many games. Corners, we only have 3 because it's all we can afford. We have 2 punters, I'm just realizing. We could ship off Stonehouse somewhere, but it's not going to free up enough cap space for us to do anything. If maybe, I don't remember if we have a sliver of cap space left. No. No, we don't. And the reasoning for this is pretty much because we're paying Caleb Williams close to $60 million for the next 3 years. So the next 3 seasons might be bad for us. So we're going to have to do a good job of building through the draft so we can give this one final push for, at the very least, the final 2 years of his contract is what I want to do. So we've got 5 seasons at the minimum, I think, left before we move on to something else. But at this time, it's a rough team. We lost both of our coordinators in the off season, and we got these guys now. But they have, this guy has 1 talent. Oh, 2, sorry. So that's great. But at least head coach CM Punk is not going anywhere. We lost both McVay and D'Amico Ryans to head coaching opportunities elsewhere. I have no idea where they went. We had simulated week 1 yesterday simply because I was trying to make trades, trying to free up cap space, and it just didn't happen. And so I was thinking, okay, maybe we can get into the season and then it'll let us trade. No, you try and make a trade and the team's feedback is all the same. It says we don't think we can afford to make a move at position right now. It doesn't even know. The game just does not want me to make trades at all. So this is kind of the team we're stuck with. Week 2 against the Cardinals. It's going to be a tough game, I think, because our offense is not our strength, and their defense has a couple good guys on it, including Travis Hunter. So we'll see how it goes. We're 0-1 on the year after the loss to Minnesota, which might be the first time they beat us in this simulation. Well, the Bears found a way to win a football game. I'm kind of surprised. Random generated draft classes from this point forward in the franchise, and players ready to negotiate. Let's see how screwed we are for next year. Oh, we're not. Look at that. We got $138 million in cap next year. However, there's going to be a lot of players that we're going to have to re-sign. Ryan Stonehouse is up for a deal. Obviously, we'd want to keep him. He doesn't have a lot of interest right now, but I think we can work on that. Immediately, I'm going to get an offer in on Bryce Kaiser. He is not a player that I want to lose whatsoever. Don't know why he lost his X Factor, because dev trait regression is off. So I'm going to have to go in and fix that. Trent Douglas, the tight end. Might have to go player friendly on him. All right, so Kaiser said no. Sidney Kramer is a running back that I want to keep on this team. If we can get the heavy hitters done now, that is a huge win for us. Try and go neutral on Sewell. Sewell will be back at 28 years old. That's just fine. Jordan Morgan is 29. We're going to want him back. A neutral offer. That deal's done. Daryl Killings is still only 25. He should be relatively cheap. He also said no. Okay. Bo Limmer, 28 years old. We're going to want to keep him around, as we are running out of cap. We are running out of cap and running out of cap fast. Okoye is on an option. We don't have to worry about him. Let's get our punter back. So then really, all we're really going to desperately want back is Kaiser. Tyreek Stevenson is a maybe. He's got to be near regression. He'll be entering age 31, his age 31 season. Peter Clifford, he might want just a bit too much. I think we're going to probably let Peter Clifford go. I might be a little biased still from the 2 dropped interceptions in the Super Bowl, even though we still won. Ezekiel Shivers, that might be a good cheap player for us to get. Okay, maybe not. But for the moment, I think we leave it there. But we do want to at least lock down Bryce Kaiser right now. Clifford, Mark Zachary. That's why I'm not super worried about Peter Clifford going anywhere, is because we do have Mark Zachary the 4th there if Clifford really doesn't want to re-sign or wants that much on a deal. But we simulate week 3, the 2-0 Dolphins. We are on the road, coming off a 10-point win over Arizona. That one feels good. Nice to see the offense can still score. Kind of expected a loss in that one, 24-14. Let's go lock down Bryce Kaiser. Last offer was 6 years, 9.4 a year. That was the neutral. We're gonna have to go player friendly, I think, to get him back, and Bryce Kaiser is back. That is good. So we're down to 38 million in cap. The only one that I'm thinking about re-signing is Stevenson. If we let him go, we're just gonna have to find another corner, which isn't usually that hard to do. And that might be the smartest thing for us to do, is try and find a newer, younger, better corner than Tyreek. As good as he's been for us, he is getting older, 30 years old now. Clifford, Killings, Jordan. I think I might just let all these guys go. Dante Cheeks is a guy I'd like to bring back for cheap. A $3.2 million cap hit on a 1-year deal. He doesn't even want it. Okay, noted. Tremaine Edmonds down to an 84 overall. So the decline is hitting a lot of the remaining original Bears right now. So, going to be an interesting next couple of seasons. If this team manages to make the playoffs this year, I have no idea how. All right, upgrades ahead of week 4. It feels like a winnable game. Bryce Kaiser getting an upgrade. He's got to be nearing, like, best outside linebacker in the NFL territory at this point. He is. Number 1 ranked right outside linebacker in the league at 91 overall. Nice. 2nd round pick, man. That's insane. Week 4 against the Panthers. This feels winnable, especially if the running game does what we hope it does. However, the offensive line blocking is going to be an issue. So, might not be as great as we're hoping for. But week 4, see if we can get on track, get back to 500. 7-point loss to the Carolina Panthers, and now it is the Detroit Lions. Divisional win and feel nice. They have a good offense, but we have pretty solid defense. I feel like 85 overall is a bit low for our defense. Maybe drugged down only by like depth corners and left defensive end. I don't know. And we beat the Lions. Look at that. Second win of the year. Aiming for 7 wins in total this year. That is the goal in this down season for the Bears. 28-23 win against the Lions. They fall to 1-4. Week 6 simulation. Bills with the same record as us. However, actually, we're about the same team. We might have a chance here. I wrote us off a little bit, but we might have a chance. And we lose by 7. Well, now Detroit, for the second time in a couple weeks. We beat the Lions the first time out. See if we can't do that again. Win game number 3. Early part of the schedule just feels really tough. All right, well, we swept the Lions. We signed practice squad players for whatever reason, and now Julian Sayin gets to have his way with us. The 5-2 Commanders in Week 8 that have turned in to a goddamn powerhouse. More players ready to negotiate here. I'm going to try another offer. The same offer I gave Killings last time, and he is back. So that's good because we are more than likely going to let Tremaine Edmonds go. So just to have a solid middle linebacker is going to be a good thing for us. Ezekiel Shivers is probably a player that can go. I mean, it's really not that expensive. We can keep him. Dante Cheeks, what did he want? Player friendly on these guys. Just to not have an absolute bare bones roster. And they didn't really cost us. All 3 of those players cost us almost nothing. So that is good news. Everyone else, really, I could live without. And then we can go into the offseason with some rare cap space. But the Week 8 sim, I am not expecting a win here. A win would obviously be great to get to 500. 4-4 through 8 weeks. We got a matchup with the Niners coming up and Green Bay. Green Bay is currently leading the division, but this is the worst Green Bay team I've seen in a while. They started the season 4-3. Do you believe in miracles? Let's hope so. Week 8, Commanders. Hoping for a win, but not expecting one. 28-19. That makes sense. We just don't have the offense to keep up with that. I mean, the defense did an okay job against a pretty good offense. Week 9 against the Niners. They have the same offense as we do, basically, overall-wise anyway, but a much better defense. So they might get us hoping for the best, preparing for the worst. Ooh. A 17-14 win. We are only 2 games out of the division. If we can beat Green Bay here, we start to feel really good. However, the Minnesota Vikings' time appears to be now as they are leading the division with the Packers yet to have their bye week. And now the Week 10 sim. Green Bay's had our number the last few seasons in the regular season. We beat them once in the playoffs when we played the games. Green Bay just looks like a much more complete team than us at the moment, so I wouldn't be surprised with a loss, but a win would be absolutely massive. If this team is to somehow sneak their way into the playoffs, it's not outside the realm of possibility. It's just not very likely. Oh my God. Look at the defense. A 20-7 win over Green Bay. And all of a sudden, we're back to 500 and second in the NFC North. We take on the Houston Texans, who are struggling for some reason. The 86 overall team. Look at our defense, jumped up 2 overall. They're up to an 87. Well. Week 11, time for the simulation. Houston on paper looks a lot better. I don't know why they're 5-5. Maybe a really tough schedule. Who knows? But the Bears are hot. Winners of some games I really thought we were going to lose. See if we can keep it going. Oh my Lord. 6-5. The goal was to win 7 games. And the Bears are leading the NFC North. Well, Week 12 against Minnesota, the Bears lead the NFC North shockingly here in the 2030 season after a really poor start. I think we've won 3 in a row, 4 in a row maybe, to get to this spot. And now Week 12 against Minnesota, they beat us early in the year. Their offense is nuts. So we might just get dropped back down to earth here. Yeah, but only by a point. That stinks. Bears are down to 6-6 outside of the playoff picture, as is Green Bay. So we're going to have to win some games here, but we do have a nice draw here in Week 13 against the 1-10 New England Patriots. Cade McNamara and Blake Corum reunited once again in New England, but it's not working out. They are 1-10. In past simulations, the Bears slip up in games like this. I'm hoping that isn't the case here because we still have an outside shot at the playoffs somehow, some way. Week 13, got our bye week coming up. Let's go into the bye week hot. Well, we won it. Not very convincingly, but we won it. 37-31. Does that put us in the playoff picture? No. Breakout quarterback. Let me guess, get 400 passing yards. We've had time after time to try and upgrade Caleb Williams' dev trait, and we have another opportunity, but get 400 yards or 4 total touchdowns. The 4 total touchdowns is going to have to be what does it. He's done it already once this year. Can he do it again? Week 15 against the Tokyo Mounties, Caleb Williams has to throw for 400 yards or 4 touchdowns to increase his dev trait to Superstar X Factor. As aforementioned, the Mounties got us the first time we faced this team. That was in Tokyo. Now we play them at home, with the Bears having some unexpected playoff aspirations here. This is a huge, huge game for us. Hey, we beat Tokyo. However, the Minnesota Vikings won. So now we take on the Jets. Oh, God. We got, like, 2 playoff teams the next 2 weeks. We've got the Jets here and the Rams next week before we face the Packers in Week 18. Well, the AFC's current 5 seed, the New York Jets, are the opponent. An 87 overall team with a 91 overall defense. I said we need to beat either the Jets or the Rams here in one of these next 2 games. I thought the Jets might be our best chance, but it truthfully might be the Rams. But we're going to simulate and see what happens. We could very well still miss the playoffs. 9-8 is... There's a good chance it's not enough to get us in there. So we got to win one of these next 2 games and then beat Green Bay Week 18. 10-point loss, which probably bumps us out of the playoff picture. It doesn't. Well, we're still in it for now. The Vancouver Monarchs have gotten into the playoff picture. That's a matchup we haven't had yet. Oh, well, our playoff hopes could vanish right before our eyes with a loss. It's already been a better season than I expected. We wanted to win 7 games, but we have won 8 in the simulation. A 9th would be massive and almost put us on the cusp of a playoff game. We are the current 7 seed, barely holding on, you would presume. Week 17 against, I believe, the 2 seed Rams. Yes, this is the current playoff matchup as well. So, could throw a wrench into that. Rams have simulated very well, but on paper we look better. And we're at home. Week 17 for 9-7. Oh boy. We are indeed 9-7 and currently leading the division. If we beat Green Bay, we win the NFC North in a season where we expected to miss the playoffs. Oh my God. We went from the 7 seed to the 3 in 1 week. And now Green Bay. The bad news is, if we lose and the Vikings win, the Vikings take the division and we might even get jumped by the Packers. A win with them would tie us, and I don't know what that second tiebreaker is going to be, but there is a chance that Green Bay could sneak past us too. We have the exact same team on paper. And all that is left to do is simulate Week 18. The current 3 seed, Chicago Bears, against the Green Bay Packers from Lambeau. A team we've already beat this year. If Minnesota loses in Week 18, we might have a chance to make it in, even with a loss. There's a chance. But we win, go 10-7, we will win the NFC North. We press the button and determine our fate. Holy shit, we won, and in this year, of all years, we have a home playoff game. We are the 3 seed. How did this team manage to do it? We started like 2-4, 3-5. What sort of run did we go on here at the end? Oh my God. So we started 1-3, 2-3, 2-4, but then just look at the run we went on. Beat the Lions, lost to the Commanders, beat the Niners, Packers, Texans. Those were the huge games. Lost to the Vikings by 1. Beat the Patriots. Beat Tokyo. Lost to the Jets. Beat the Rams, who were the 2 seed. I think they still are. And beat Green Bay. And I believe we kept Green Bay out of the playoffs as well. We certainly did. Not only that, Minnesota misses the playoffs as well. So it is Bears and Eagles in the 3-6 matchup in the fucking NFC. How did this team manage? I have no clue.